Mhm.
Hey everybody, welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. I'm your host Ray Goots, and what a show today, Halloween Havoc '98. I think a very important, not a good show, a very important show in the turning point of Doom for WCW. Before we get into that, it's so funny. Re-listened to last week's podcast, pulling up a clip, and I was like, I'm really worried about Obafemi, and I was right. Breaking news, not breaking, it happened 3 days ago. Brock Lesnar's back. He beat the shit out of Obafemi. I didn't watch Raw. I got a text from a friend, and I couldn't believe what I got that text. I we said this on the podcast. That retirement was really special. I think it meant a lot to people. I think it was impressive how they overcame the annoyance and anger I have about him with the Janelle Grant case into actually feeling something, and then they undid it. Fuck them. I think it's because they have no ideas. It's because they're out of ideas. What did you think of Brock Lesnar return?
I mean, I was surprised. I think because I watched The Boys and I was watching Gen V. I was catching up on Gen V. I had like Raw on one screen, mostly in mute, and Gen V on another, um, just in case it ties in and does all that stuff, which we have to do with every TV show now. So I had that going, and then I'm like, all right, open challenge. I'm expecting like an Otis or something. And I see him get attacked. I'm like, who is it? And I see Brock. I'm like, yes, you get your holy shit moment, but I don't think this is needed. This might just be like a sell tickets thing. They realize SummerSlam's not selling the way I believe SummerSlam's on sale already.
Yeah, it is.
SummerSlam's probably not selling the way they wanted to. Italy could probably use a few more boosts. But I think you really undid something special with having Brock come back. Because what happens now? Oba just beats him again? Or does Brock get his win back and then you do a third one? And if Brock gets his win back, then what's the point of doing that with Oba? If he just, like, I don't understand the logic behind it besides money.
Yeah, and I think also it takes away the specialness of WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
There was really no WrestleMania moment. There was really no like, oh my god. And I think that was a WrestleMania moment. I think that was, and you did it. And this WrestleMania now, I mean, besides CM Punk's match, which because it's trapped on a shitty app, it's not gonna have the rewatchability like Savage Steamboat. Gonna be forgotten about.
I will say on Disney Plus, I checked Backlash. They edit out all commercials. So I don't know if it's the
Oh,
same on
now they do.
ESPN. Yeah, but Disney Plus, you might have to wait a day. But on Disney Plus, everything is all just the show, the feed, not the like you're watching Backlash.
But well, you know what? Fuck them anyway.
No, it's still very annoying.
Yeah,
But
it's just it turned WrestleMania is basically a SmackDown this year. Like that's all it was. Like it just is like what are you doing? Like you've got to start thinking about the future, and they're not. And you made Oba a guy, and he's not going to be the guy. He's not going to be the guy that we thought he was going to be. I think this ruined it. I think it's over.
I wouldn't say that it's over, but I think this is just a huge step back. I think they realized right away that they had no plans for him because they wanted to do the Jacob Fatu thing, and they didn't want to like just put the title on him versus Cody or whatever. They didn't want to put a title on Oba. I don't even know who Penta's the Intercontinental Champion. So, and the U.S. champ, yeah, they didn't have anything to put on Oba, so they have these open challenges with no wrestlers because they fired half of them, a good chunk of them. Um, so they just pushed the Brock button, and now we're getting this again, and I don't see anything enjoyable about it at the moment. I just like I said, and I think it does sell you WrestleMania, like you said, because that was probably one of the biggest moments, if not the biggest moments of the whole show. And they got to figure it out because this is not it, and this is excluding all the Brock lawsuit, Janelle Grant stuff that's just gonna linger until something actually happens. But
Yeah,
I think it was a mistake. I think they just wanted people. They know Brock's gonna sell tickets, and they're listening to the crowd. That crowd didn't give a shit. That crowd was just like, "Yay, Brock's back." Which was also a pet peeve of crowds. They can't let themselves get into a moment, good or bad, because Brock beat the shit out of Oba. I watched that part with sound on. And he did the F5, multiple F5s. And instead of just being like yay or boo for Brock, they're doing the one more time thing. Like pick a side, like get invested. You know what I mean? Like get invested. Don't be like, I just want to see this. We want tables, dumbass chant. Like just get invested in the story. I know they're not giving you much, but get invested. Don't. It's almost like they're very robotic. All WWE fans, they say the same chant over. That's why the what chant is still fucking around. Like you're just doing it to do it. It's ugh.
More time. It's yeah. Oh, they really. Yeah. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's not good. None of this is
Yeah.
good. Everyone should be ashamed.
Yeah.
What day of the week is
I what's up?
what day of the week is Double or Nothing? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, this Sunday.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, Double or Nothing's this weekend. I know everyone in New York is excited. You know, I said like AEW should run New York more. New York's a big town. Blue Sky got mad. This is a few months ago. People on Blue Sky got mad because apparently AEW can just sell out everywhere they want because it's so hot, even though they haven't done it anywhere but New York. I was like, New York loves wrestling, and they sold out a stadium, and but people got mad because I gave credit to New York and not AEW. AEW fans are very fucking. It's not. Can I say something? Because everyone on Blue Sky is not going to this event; they're staying home. AEW fans are very. The internet ones are very weird, and they don't spend money, which is why I really feel like Tony needs to stop catering to them because they don't buy tickets and they don't spend money.
Yeah, I mean they sold out, which is good. Unfortunately, the weather is not going to be their friend. I'll be there. Yeah, it's supposed to be a
Yeah,
rainy weekend. What's up?
is that stadium outdoors? I never went there.
I don't know. I think it is. I'm looking at it now. Uh, yeah, it's outdoors. There's like a little bit of like a dome, but
What's the weather on Sunday that you said is not
like
going to be?
it's all gonna be like rainy and in like the 50s, 60s. Like it's crazy. The past few days were like all 90s, 80s. And it's kind of been like this for months. Like the week, middle of the week will be like the sunniest days like in the world. And then the weekend will just be like dregs. Which is just like I don't understand it. But no, the card, yeah, it's a big matches on the card. There's only one
Yeah,
pre-show match? Oh wow.
I looked at the card. Kyle O'Reilly versus John Moxley. We'll have fun with that, man. But that doesn't really do anything for me.
I mean, it's their story, they have story history. Darby Allin MJF is the big one. I don't think MJF's losing. I think they're getting everything they can out of this Darby Allin reign now before he goes and does something else.
Yeah,
MJF's not losing his hair. Um, Takeshita and Okada, it's one of
that'll
those
be good.
feuds. Yeah, that'll be good. It's one of those feuds that kind of have been going for a really, really long time, almost like a WWE level, where you're like, all
Mhm.
right, pull the trigger already. FTR and Big Stoke against Cope and Christian. That should be fun. Stadium Stampede is going to be crazy. That's just whatever shit show.
Mhm.
I mean, look at like with AEW, you're rarely gonna have bad wrestling. It happens, but it's rarely, really gonna be bad wrestling. Is it gonna be something that's gonna entice everyone? No, but it will entice a lot, and I think they can do a lot of good things here with this card, and we'll see. We'll see. I think a surprise would be cool because I think personally the MJF thing is gonna be predictable, and a
I'm
surprise
gonna,
can't be Mick Foley. Like,
I'm gonna predict something. I'm gonna predict Malachi Black is already back, which is why they keep breaking him up.
that would be interesting. I'm not saying I'd be like yay, but that would be interesting.
I, I think he's back. So you know what it is with the AEW fan base. I noticed he, they are very. This is the thing. I think this is how you build heel heat. They're very And they actually don't like Aleister Black. Like they want bad things to happen to him because a report came out. But by the way, Aleister Black never said any of this out loud. But a report came out that he didn't really want to be there. He wanted to go back to WWE. Now, if you look at the circumstance of how he got to AEW, it's not like this guy begged WWE to fire him so he go to AEW. He was fired in the middle of a big push. Literally,
Hmm.
his last day, he's beating the shit out of Big E to set up a feud, and then he
Yeah.
vanished. He was in the middle of a push. It's the equivalent of firing The Rock right after he turned on Farouk. Okay, The Rock's gonna go to WCW, but he probably wants to be in WWF to finish his Farouk feud. Like he's like, all right, I guess I'll be here, but like
Yeah.
I don't know why they fired me. Like we were in the middle of something. So like it makes sense to me that he would want to go back, but people are holding it against him, and it's like, well, that's none of your business. People want to work where they want to work, and the fact that they're playing it up in interviews, I think they're going to bring him back, and I think the way to build a heel, like a true heel in AEW, is to be like, I don't fucking like this company, and it sucks, and I'm just going to destroy it, and literally convince them that you don't actually want to be there, that you'd rather be in WWF. I think that works with that crowd because Aleister Black has tremendous heel heat
Yeah.
with.
No, I think that would be awesome.
Mhm. I don't want to be here, but I am here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of everyone you love, and I'm going to take the belts. And when my contract's up, I'm going to take these belts to Vince. Fuck you.
To specifically Vince.
And yeah, I'm not even going to WWF. I'm going to give it to Vince. And you know what else? I'm not doing any fuck Will Ospreay. I'm not jumping off anything. I'm going to put you in a headlock, and we're going to sit there. That's you. You have Aleister Black and Will Ospreay. He puts him in a fucking headlock, and he grabs the mic, and he just says how they're all losers, how they all stink, how they sit on the internet all day. The fucking place would be going nuts. And we're not doing anything. We're not doing any moves today. Like he won't let Will Ospreay do a move, and that's the match. He'd be the biggest
It's,
heel on the planet.
it's very Hall and Nash-esque, if he does
But
that.
I think that's gonna work because I've never seen people like you really don't like this guy because he didn't want to work there. Like you really don't like him. Like what? Like why? You don't work there. Who cares?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird tribalism on both sides. I think you know what it is. Whoever's feed, because I have friends who like get all the quote fed pilled people, so they see
Mhm.
like the worst of the WWE people, and you see the worst of the AEW people. I kind of see in the middle, and I just like I hate you both.
Yeah.
And I just
Oh,
scroll through.
the blue sky. No, no, no. The blue sky AW fans are the worst. They are really. They can't. They will just. There are days I don't know anything going on in WWE. Like, and I check Blue Sky because I like I follow a lot of comic book people. I'm trying
Hmm.
to get more involved in comic book social media. I'm sure that'll be. I'm sure.
Good luck. Yeah.
But like they'll like post about a new update about WWE and then like pat themselves on the back for watching AEW. And I'll be like, for people that don't like WWE, all you do is talk about it. I'm out and about in the world, and you like are like running to like judge, I don't know, fucking something that Chelsea Green said, and then you also like, but I'm a good person because I
Yeah, they're very upset about that too.
yeah, well, yeah.
Whatever White House thing they got to do.
That's an example, but they constantly do that where it's like, you're not a good person because you watch AEW. You're not a good person because you watch a TV show. You're actually a lazy fucking loser. What you should be doing, you want to actually be a good person, is you should be out in your community helping people. I've never said I'm a good person. I'm an actual piece of shit. What I'm going to do, like, I'm going to go see Star Wars and then I'm going to sit and watch ECW. And I'm not going to move and I'm not going to help anyone and I'm not going to be there for anybody because I'm a fucking asshole.
At least you're honest about it.
But like to say that you are a good person because on Wednesday you sit on your fucking couch for 2 hours and watch Will Ospreay drive his head into a fucking wall. What are you talking about? You that is not even the bare minimum to be a good person.
No, it's not. I think AEW has that, and I think Tony Khan talking about they have that kind of legacy of just being known as the, I guess, not as MAGA company, like the more liberal company, just because a few wrestlers are more outspoken than the other ones, and Tony Khan's never admitted that. He just kind of rides that wave, and which is smart. I wouldn't brand myself as either. But yeah, I think yeah, people just get this sense of pride from watching AEW. Also, they'll if you can do good wrestling, they'll accept
Oh yeah.
anything. So
Well, that's the thing. The thing that Meltzer put in people's brain, which is why I think it's so hard for people to just write off Chris Benoit, is good wrestler equals good person. Like that's what he put in people's brain. When I got into internet wrestling fandom, like people thought like guys like Earthquake and Boss Man were like not good people. Like they're not wrestling good because they're bad human beings. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was the message. And then you learn more about Benoit backstage and some other people who were great workers backstage. And you're like, oh, this person was an animal. This person and Ray Traylor was actually helping people. But
Yeah.
because Ray Traylor didn't jump off the top rope and fucking fall on his head, he's probably a sexual predator. That was like the way they thought on the internet. And Meltzer's the one who put that in people's heads. And they still have this. If you're a good worker, you're a good person. I don't understand.
Yeah, they give you a lot of leeway. I mean, it's the same, I guess, in any entertainment. Like, if somebody likes you, they give you a lot of leeway for a lot of things. I don't, when it comes to the White House stuff, I look at it more as like these guys are. Charlotte was just like, I didn't know this was my appearance. I just found out it was my appearance, and I was like, oh, it's the one at the White House. So like, she just knew she was booked for an appearance, just according to her. She knew she was booked for an appearance, and she's gonna do it. Are they all supporting the White House and Trump? It's possible. I don't know them. I don't know them personally. All I know is they are people with more than six-figure salaries that might benefit more than you or I would. And some people, that is all that is. It's a it's literally a bottom dollar issue. I know people personally that were like, look, if I was making this much for my family, I am voting this way because I care about like my family. And you don't have to like that. You don't even have to respect it. But that's just how some people in America think. And when it comes to these wrestlers, you don't know them. No matter what it is, Adam Page, Charlotte Flair, Chelsea Green, you don't know them. And
Mm,
people are also do not think the same way you do. Chelsea Green says she fights for marginalized groups. That was one of her posts. She may not think the same way about this. She may think, hey, me doing this is good, but she does not live in the same bubble that you do, where you're like, well, this is this and this is that, and if you support this, she just does it. And it's not, I'm not trying to defend her like that, but that's just just a different world she lives in.
yeah.
So
Well, then,
what are you attacking? What are you gonna do about it? I just don't understand it. I don't understand the extreme vitriol. You don't have to like it. You can be disappointed. You don't have to support her. But the extreme vitriol and just the stuff that people just say about her on the internet and other people is just
mhm.
on there. Because Adam Page got it too. Like he was like a monster all of a sudden. I'm not saying he made a good decision, but he's not. You don't fucking know these guys.
Well, yeah. Well, then the other thing too is like TKO. They all work for the same company. TKO is putting an event on at the White House,
Yeah.
and TKO is their boss. And I'm sure it's like you can't be like none of us are going to go to White House. Someone's going to the fucking White House because
Yeah.
we're running an event with the fucking White House. So
Yeah.
show up. And the other thing too is like regardless of Trump, regardless of the president, let me ask you this: if somebody said to you, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the White House. I'm gonna like someone's gonna show me around. Would you like to come and look at the White House? Would you go to the White House to take a look at it?"
Not at this
Oh,
point.
okay. I would go into the White House because
Yeah,
it's a part of our history. I think it's more important than Donald Trump.
yeah,
Um, it represents like more than him, and I don't think any man is bigger than the White House.
yeah.
I would go check it out. I would go check out the White House. I wouldn't go hang out with Donald Trump because it's like,
No,
oh, he's in China, but I can just show you around. You want to just fucking see it? I would go take a look. It's,
I understand that point too. I just think I personally is just like I wouldn't want anything to do with it, even if it's a once in a lifetime experience. It's just like I'm that administration to me is
oh
like
yeah,
it's the vice versa. You said no one's bigger. Me, I'm like I don't even want to be associated while they're in there.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but if I'm working for TKO and they're like, hey, you gotta go. Fuck, I gotta go. There's definitely also that's the thing about certain jobs. When you work there, when you work like if you work at a certain place, sometimes you have to do stuff. I work in social media. They're like, hey, we gotta do this post about blah blah blah. I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to do this post about something I don't care about.
Hmm.
Show some movie, somebody maybe even an actor I don't agree with.
Hmm.
You gotta do the post. Oh, you gotta do the post. Like I've worked in wrestling social media in the past. You know, Hulk Hogan passed away. I couldn't be like, hey, he's a piece of shit. I have to be respectful or lose my job. And some people were just like, well, she can just go work somewhere else. Okay, okay, you do
Yeah,
that. You do that with your job, and you figure it out.
She go to AEW
Yeah, they wouldn't take her ass.
and
That,
Tony Khan's no interest in Chelsea.
no, and I don't think she's bad. They just wouldn't take
And
her. I don't think she.
the fan base would like post, "Don't hire her. Why you hire her? Don't hire her."
No, they would hate her guts.
Yeah.
I know we have to get to Halloween Havoc, but there's also WWE has kind of done the funniest, unfunniest thing they did this week. Apparently, they are bringing house shows back because they realize wrestlers need reps, and also they want to get more tag teams back, despite what they did literally a month ago. And one of the rumors is they have interest in bringing back Enzo and Cass,
Well,
which you
I've
were
been
talking about. Yeah, I don't, maybe you're
looking for
Nostradamus
them
because
to
you
be
wanted them.
rehired.
Yeah.
I think they never should have been broken up. They should have been together like the New Day. I
They
think,
also
I think,
fired half the tag teams.
yeah, but I don't have a problem. Look, here's the thing about Enzo is that like he was unequivocally found innocent of what he was accused of. The cops took it away. He's innocent, and my thing is this: is that like yes, we should hold people accountable if they're accused of things, but once it's looked into and it's proven fake, you can't keep holding that against somebody because then
Mm,
that means that person then that means that like anyone could just say anything about anybody. We have to just okay, I guess that person's a pile of shit. I mean, forever because someone said something about them. So he was found innocent. He the fuck up he made was he didn't tell WWE,
hmm.
and I think together now separate. I don't have any interest in those guys separate. Together, I think those guys can make a difference. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they will. I don't know what you do with them. I mean, you guess you put them on Raw, you put them on SmackDown. The rumors was NXT. Um, I mean, that's where they were their hottest. And NXT, sometimes it seems you put a ball of yarn in front of that crowd and they'll go crazy. But I just think it's just kind of mind-boggling. I know someone was like, they want cheaper tag teams. They want to turn single people into tag teams. But you had some of the best tag teams ever, and you just let them go. Maybe they'll re-offer them jobs. I don't know, but it just seemed a very mind-boggling thing to do.
but also Enzo and Cass are perfect for WWE. They have
Oh
catch
yeah,
game.
and I don't necessarily mean Enzo. Enzo and Cass is more of a
They're,
surprise.
they're,
I
they're
mean,
more. I feel like they're more. Even though I love the Motor Machine, I'd rather watch the Motor City Machine Guns over Enzo and Cass. They're more set up for the
WWE
TKO
success.
WWE style than the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, yeah. I mean, I also don't. I like I said it before. I think the Guns were painfully miscast
Hmm.
because they came in as babyface. We call them the Rock and Roll Express in the in Attitude Era,
Yeah,
and they shouldn't have been. They were great heels in TNA. You guys have no problem rehashing things sometimes. Call up Kevin Nash, do some of that fun shit again because it worked before. It could work again, and they're great. They're like they can talk. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin can talk, but you have them in this generic grandpa babyface role where they're basically older Axiom, Fraxium, and that who does that help? I just didn't get it, but that's not my job to get. I guess I don't work for them.
yeah. All
But we'll
right.
see. We'll see. Tag teams and house shows. Maybe the house shows will be cheap. We'll see. Go back to
Well,
watching it.
well, let's talk about this show. This is a fork in the road show. I think. It's Halloween Havoc 1998. Uh, so here's the deal with this show. Um, fucking, it goes long, and for a lot of the country, they missed the main event, which is the best match on the show, and people wanted refunds, and some people got refunds, some people didn't. They lost a lot of money on this show. The next night, they had no choice but to air DDP versus Goldberg, which annoyed people who paid for it and saw the match, and now everyone was getting it for free. They aired DDP and Goldberg, and they beat Raw in the ratings for the final time. They never beat Raw again. The war is over after tonight.
Hmm.
And I think that this moment, knowing what's going to happen when you put on this show and you see just the mismanagement of time, I think this was it for Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff says around late 98, people started like telling him what to do. And he kind of like, he's like, I don't know why they did that. I think it's because of this show, because they actually lost a lot of money on the show because he didn't time it right. He was lazy in his timing. There's a lot of things in the
Mm,
show that don't need to be here. They add
yeah,
nothing. There's no reason for two Disco Inferno matches. There's no reason. There's no reason for this guy to have two matches that aren't even very good. And these fucking poor Hoovy and Billy Kidman have to like slow down to work with this slob. And it's like, and then Bischoff coming out to cut a promo with a stupid look on his face. I think that this was the moment where they lost confidence in Bischoff as a leader. And I think that's why people started looking over his scripts and stuff. And I think the reason, and he doesn't want to admit it, is because we're not going to lose money again, like we did on Sunday. You cost us a lot of money because you don't know what you're doing.
yeah. No, I think it was you're not wrong. Yeah, this was a turning point. I remember. I think we didn't get DDP, at least for when I watched it when I was younger. We didn't get DDP and Goldberg, and then you had to watch the next night on Nitro. It cut off like halfway or something.
Yeah,
Something weird happened, and I was just like, "Where's the match?" And like you just didn't get it. It went to like 11 o'clock, and you had to watch on Nitro. And yeah, looking back at this match and this card and how Rick Steiner has two matches and Disco Inferno has two matches and Raph is on this and Alex Wright and Finley are on that. Like just like half of this did not need to be be a card
yeah,
if this is what you were trying to get at. And yeah, just and it's not even like the card is like rewarded. Like it's not even like a card like top to bottom. This was a great show. It really wasn't. Even like Bret
no.
Hart and Sting, which always disappointed me even as a kid. It's just I don't know, just a really bad decisions all around.
Here's the other thing that fucking annoys me about this show, and it annoyed me in '98. They go on and on and on about WrestleMania 6, about how great WrestleMania 6 was. And it's like, well, that was so great. Why don't I just watch WWE? Why am I watching this show? Like they did this a lot with Hogan, where they would talk about how great like Hogan's matches with Savage were, or Andre. That's not your history. And I get it. You want to get over like, hey, we're doing Hogan Savage again. We're doing Hogan Warrior. I get it. But I mean, the way they talk about WrestleMania 6 is you would think that they promoted it. It's like, did anything interesting happen in your company in 1990 that you have the rights to sell the footage of? You know, Sting won the belt in 1990. Can we mention that once on this fucking show? Like, why are you putting over how awesome WWF was in 1990? The whole fucking show.
Good thing they didn't have a network back then. You just turn it off and watch the network, or just pop in your VHS, I guess. But yeah, no, they take the WWE's history, and I guess this is one thing that Vince McMahon used to do that annoyed a lot of people. He didn't do it back in '98, but after the Attitude Era, um, people from TNA and stuff. After a while, WWE stopped acknowledging other people's histories. They are started up again recently because they didn't want you to leave and go and be like, oh, well, this is happening or what's this? So maybe I'll check out that instead. And this
Yeah.
show, they're just, I guess because they just know everyone already knows WWF and WrestleMania 6. I guess that's the logic. But no, they talk about it a lot. And this match is not going to live up to that. They should have known.
And all they,
There
it
was, there
makes
was,
you
yeah, there was no chance they were living up to WrestleMania 6. The Ultimate Warrior was already on his way out in 1996 while Hogan
mhm.
was having his resurgence. And the year of Hulk Hogan's matches this year, you should know that this thing was not going to live up or even come close to the original.
By the way, this is the worst match Hogan ever has. He never has a match as bad as this again.
It's
I
pretty,
think
it's pretty
I think
awful.
he realized that he was shit in the bed. And his two matches with Flair are actually pretty good in '99. So I think he's like, I can't shit the bed like this. I am Hulk Hogan, but I can't shit the bed like this. And I think he takes a step back. He never, and you can, we'll see. He never has a match as bad as this ever again. Now he doesn't have great matches. He has matches that are still questionable, but they're not like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he tries to not put himself in a spot where he looks this weak and this pathetic.
Yeah.
Even when he's can't do the leg drop anymore in the WWE or TNA, he still tries to work with his strengths instead of his
Hmm.
weakness and has a good partner he can work with and not an Ultimate Warrior, which I don't know why you guys trusted the Warrior to be a good
He
partner to begin with.
he wanted his win back. He wanted his win back. They didn't
That's
get rid
all
of
right.
him, and it's
Such a
like
weird thing. Like, who cares? I would not have thought twice about it.
I would rather he get his win back on Yokozuna. That still annoys me. I don't care about him losing to Warrior. I want him to get his revenge on Yokozuna.
I'm
If
sure that was a plan and at some point, and Yoko was just too big.
I know, I think they did try to get him in so he could get his win back. But I actually, if there was one person that Hogan was going to drag in just to beat, and then they fire him, I would have wanted to be, the satisfaction I would have gotten that he got revenge on Yokozuna. I would have been very sad. They could have done it. They could have done it anytime. They could have done it anytime, and I would have been, thank God.
Yeah, according to
Uh,
Click This and the unfortunate AI overview that we have, are gonna get all the time now because Google has changed the way they do these things. Nash wanted to bring in Yokozuna for a Halloween Havoc run-in in '98, but
but
then the
yeah,
weight
but Scott
issues,
Voltek and Scott Voltek.
yeah, with the weight issues, he didn't get cleared medically.
And I think Yokozuna asked what happens next, and Nash was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Okay, so the show starts. Rick Steiner has an interview segment. Buff Bagwell comes out and again fools Rick Steiner that he's no longer with. Again, this is like the third time they've done this, where Buff Bagwell is, oh, I'm actually a face, and Rick Steiner's like, okay, and it's just like, you got to be kidding me, like, bro, like this was such an easy layup, Scott versus Rick Steiner, and they just keep fucking it up. And again, this annoys me because this is taking time away. Like you're taking by, and you don't have it. You can't fuck up tonight, and you do, and the company goes out of business, and now we're stuck watching MJF versus Darby Allin. It's
I
like
mean, I wouldn't take that. I don't know, but
it's just
yes.
like it's just so annoying. If regardless of what happens with the timing, it's so fucking annoying seeing Rick Steiner fall for this bullshit again. What did you think?
No, I think once again they set this up. Also, whether we joke about timing, this is the first time they have the Nitro Girls doing segments on the show, on the pay-per-views live. And like just knowing how it's like when a producer just overbloats a fucking comedy show and you're like, dude, why is this here right now? And I love the Nitro Girls. I'll never say no to wanting to see the Nitro Girls. But if you're running out of time, why are the Nitro Girls on? Just why? I
Bro,
don't get it.
I wrote on Blue Sky that I think that AEW should have their version of Nitro Girls, and some of the responses I got from these. So one guy went, "Ill, that's disgusting." I go, "What's disgusting? It's sexualizing." I go, "Sexualizing." I blocked him. I go like, women just dancing is not sexualizing them or taking advantage of them. Women can dance. Women like to dance, and also these dances are like high school fucking dances. These are like theater kid dances that they're doing. It,
Yeah,
I,
no,
I,
they were never really like they were sexy, but it wasn't like the dances were like I mean, sometimes they opened their legs, but they had on like pants and stuff. It was never like this like I don't know, it was like Sears catalogs. I don't know what to tell
yeah,
you. Yeah, it
it's just like
was
what is this? What is this fucking generate? Like they nothing remotely like
like
remotely
Sable
trying to.
literally had her titties out, so I don't know what
Yeah,
you
but
want.
even like the reaction to like no, you don't really like. I look, the reason I like Nitro Girls, it adds to the ambiance. I think it makes it feel like a big deal, and I think AEW needs a little bit of that, where that's something that's inoffensive, and it's just like people's reactions now to like the remote even to suggest that we I might put something on your TV screen that might arouse you. Just maybe in the little everything is now perverted or you're a weirdo or it's just women dancing. If that like if you think that's disgusting or weird, you're a fucking weirdo. You're a fucking weirdo. If you think women dancing is like in any way, shape, or form
I mean, they
weird.
still do it at basketball games and
Yeah.
football games and things like that. These were basketball game style dances, and I don't know, they were just fine. Yeah, I never had a problem with them. If you want to see them like sexy, they had a calendar, and I remember I got the calendar. They took us to like Roosevelt Field Mall for a field trip, our school. No, here
To
you
buy
go,
the
black.
Nitro calendar, to buy the
No,
Nitro
no, but they're like,
calendar.
here you go, black children. Here's a white mall. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's stores. It's not just sneakers. So that was nice to see. No, I didn't know it was that. I think it was my first time in like Spencer's Gifts or things like that, one of these kind of places. And the Nitro Girl, I think I got Dragon Ball Z stuff and Nitro Girl calendar, which is just like probably not the best thing to get on a school bus full of children. No one like roasted me, but in hindsight, man, I should have got sneakers like everyone else. but it was that's probably the sexiest you would see them, or if you were online and you knew where to find pages prior Playboy shots. But on the show, they were very, very tame, and I don't see them wrong. I don't think it would fit with Ring of Honor. I mean, not Ring of Honor, AEW. I think people would just get too, just be too. They would rather Wildcat Willie. Remember Wildcat Willie?
Yeah, well, I also, yeah,
They would rather see that, I think, than they would rather see Dancing Women. And I'm not trying to be mean about them, but I think that they would rather embrace that more than Dancing Women if they had like the all elite cheetah, all elita, the cheetah. They would love all elita the cheetah over the Dancing Nitro girls. Oh, they got to trademark that one. Oh, let's
and
get him out there.
one guy wrote, only if Thekla just beat the shit out of them after every segment. And I'm like, you guys are just like, like,
Are
they're
these
comic.
young people or are these older people?
I don't know what they were, bro. I get the sense that Blue Sky's a bunch of middle-aged people
Because
who,
I know the Gen Z people are, at least a lot of them are a lot sex
dissect.
repulsed and they're
Yeah,
not as into anything remotely sexy, while like us, millennials, Gen X and things like that were like we had whole genres of movie being like, if you ain't getting pussy by 14, you're the fucking
everything,
loser. Life
everything.
is pussy and vagina.
Dude, there was a thread of like younger people saying that they had to shut Friends off and they got to season two because Courtney Cox dated Tom Selleck and they're like it's disgusting. It's this. I
Oh
think the
God.
most famous storyline on the show. I was in my teenage years. I didn't think anything. I didn't. Oh my God, a predator! It was just like okay, they're adults now and they want to date and that's their right. And
She was in her mid 20s, I think, the character, and he was just older. Yeah.
they were always vaguely 28 for 10 years. Every character.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bro, you gotta get out of your head with this. You gotta just enjoy Tom Selleck and Courtney Cox dating. It's
Yeah.
eventually
They date in real life.
no on the show.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I remember that. And he has good
You
chemistry.
gotta just, you gotta just this is just how the world sometimes works.
Yeah, there
Sometimes
are people who still do this now.
yes,
Like
you just have to
real
go.
people. Yeah. Why do you think they wrote it?
It's just I don't know how they're gonna function. And I think this is why like people like Trump are just running roughshod over the country because it's just they just want they don't know how to react to the world, and you have people who know how to react to the world, and they're just ripping up everyone's rights. So I don't know. It's just like you gotta just accept that Monica and his name was Richard on the show. Monica and Richard fucked in 1995. You just have to accept that. He eventually gets written out of the show, and then she fucks age appropriate Matthew Perry. Just accept it. Just accept it.
Yeah, I mean it's something. I mean the last time I saw it, there's the throwaway How I Met Your Mother episode where Ted dates somebody younger, and that was 2013. So I don't know if they're still no. I mean, actually, no, they're still doing it. Rise and Fall of Reggie Dinkins, which is Tracy Morgan's new show. Very funny if you watch Peacock. His wife is younger. His new wife is like a younger 20-something year old. He's an old retired football player. They're not hammering it home, but he's just an older man with a young wife. So it still happens. I'm sure someone would be repulsed by it.
Yeah. Well,
He's not banging her on the TV show.
well,
It's-
the thing on Friends is they do have a conversation that is it weird because he's so much older,
yeah,
and
I remember that.
Jennifer Aniston's like, no, it's fine. So they address it, and then they have a healthy relationship. So it's like, okay, they had the discussion, and then they go ahead and they do it, and it's, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just people like everything is predatory. Anything remotely sexual is predatory. And
It's
you know
also
what?
hypocritical because if this is like say if this is a younger if the woman is like 25 or like I don't know
I
if one of these people saying that and Finn Balor was like I want to date this woman, they're not saying no to Finn Balor.
no, but she
Like
has no. But no, but if she's 28, she has no. She's a baby. She has no. She can't make up her own mind. So
yeah,
Finn Balor.
yeah, but it's like if yeah, but at the same time if a man saying that if Roxanne Perez came up with him or Liv Morgan who's like 29, Rhea Ripley I think is 29 and this person's 40, I'm not they're not saying no either. You're
Not.
not doing it. You're absolutely not doing it.
I might say no to Rhea Ripley because I don't want Buddy Murphy coming after me.
I'm this is a hypothetical. These people are single at the time. These are not like.
I'll
relationships.
let me take something. I'll fight Roxanne Perez's boyfriend. I can take him, so I'll say yes to
Oh,
that.
that's a big guy. I don't know about that.
I'd rather him than Buddy Murphy. I feel like I would hurt Buddy Murphy's feelings. I wouldn't want to do that. I
This
care
was,
more about Buddy Murphy as a person than whoever the NXT loser that Roxanne Perez is dating.
yeah. I mean, he's an NXT guy. I mean, don't worry. Once he gets some drop kicks and good moves, then you'll love him. Well, yeah, this is a gigantic tangent. Nitro Girl's great. Rick Steiner bad. Rick Steiner promo bad.
Um, all right, here we go. Opening match: Chris Jericho versus Raven. This was an interesting match at the time because it felt like Jericho was being played as a face, and the crowd was
Hmm.
reacting. But this match, this is like when I saw this because I got the VHS tape the next day. I thought it was gonna be a good pay per view because this match was pretty fucking good. These two have pretty
Yeah.
good history. They don't do much in the future. I think that there was money on the table to do more with them in
No,
uh
I,
in WWE. WWE, like have them have a genuine feud. I think Jericho could have got Raven over to where Vince believes in him again. These two have I think if not the best match on the show, second best match on the show. Really good, really fast paced. Again, Raven had a great 98. And also the cool thing is like this is right when Revenge came out. So this is like
yes.
just such a peak era. What do you think of this match?
No, this is if not the best match, one of the best matches on the show. I think they were test. I think they didn't know what to do with Jericho for a little bit, so they were testing him out, I guess, as like this arrogant kind of heel versus heel. But how would the fans like react to him if he's in the good guy role? So I think they were trying to do. And no, this is a good match. I was thinking the same things that you were thinking when you were watching it. I'm just like, this guy, Raven Jericho could have been something in the 2000s or 2001. The WWE just did not like Raven. That's like when you think of Raven, some people say he took a step back and he had other shit going on. But when you think of Raven in the WWE, they just did not like him. You didn't like him. It's like doing comedy and the booker just doesn't like you. You're not gonna get the good spots. You're gonna get check spots for the rest of your life because they're doing you a favor. It's just it could have been so much more, in my opinion. He did pretty well in WCW, and they got the most out of him that they could, I think,
He
besides the world title. He wasn't getting the world title, but I think this is definitely like I just looked on Cage Match. They had one. This is their only one-on-one, at least on like a TV show, Raw, SmackDown, all of them. So I think yeah, I think it was a waste of time. I think it was a waste. It's could have these two could have had a lot more together. But
good match.
awesome
I mean,
match.
one of like I remember this being like when I look back at the end of '98 WCW, I'm like, oh, that match was so good. Like that was such,
Yeah,
and it still holds up.
yeah, absolutely. And it is revenge time. Everyone, oh, pretty much everyone on this card is in the game
Here on, yeah,
except for Raph, which is a whole. Adam Bomb, I just realized, Brian Clark has the dubious honor of being cut from like two games, like WrestleMania arcade game and Revenge. Um, and I think he did mocap for WrestleMania the arcade game. They just took
did.
him out because I think Adam Bomb was not cool anymore.
I still,
And
I still think, and they have, and I think the developers just are like, let's never tell them there is a crazy way to unlock him in the arcade version,
mm,
and,
I
and
remember
they're
those urban legends.
will never. And I'm like, and I think they're like waiting to like 40 years, like when the game hits 40, I think someone will be like, all right, this is how you do it. You have to like do something insane. I think there's still an insane thing that no one has thought of to get Adam Bob in that game.
I would try. I remember I used to try. He has all the sprites. I think what's gonna happen someday is someone's going because they do a lot. I don't know if you've seen all those No Mercy mods and SmackDown Shut Your Mouth mods and things that people do. People keep modding the old games, and if all of his movements are here, I think, and that's only if they're all here. I think you could actually get him back in the game somehow. And this is from someone with no game design experience, so. That's just my assumptions. I think you can get him back in the game somehow, and I think that'd be cool to see. 'Cause I remember he was the rumor and Diesel was the rumor, and Diesel has no mocap. Diesel was
Yeah,
never in it.
he's fun in the game, but I think there's a secret way. All right,
Yeah.
before we get to we're jumping ahead. Hogan and Bischoff come out for a promo that's mainly about Horace Hogan. Bischoff runs out, mugs to the camera, does all these goofy moves, I remember when he talked about this episode, he acted so, I don't know why we went wrong. It's like, bro, the buck stops with you. Every now and then he kind of acts like he didn't have say over everything when he wants to. It's like, no, dude, the buck stops with you. Like, why are you out here doing these stupid fucking segments? Where you're not even talking about the Warrior, you're making dumb faces. Like, you should be cutting the Disco Inferno. You should be in the back yelling at people. Why are there two Disco Inferno matches on the call sheet? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Um,
this seemed like a big left not talking to the right, even though Bischoff is the final say kind of
yeah,
show.
but he pretends he's not when he does all the yeah. But anyway, bullshit. I thought the promo sucked. It annoyed me. It annoyed me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Didn't need it.
And speaking of things we didn't need, especially because the payoff of this, Ming versus Wrath. They have a short match. Wrath wins. Now, at the time, they were building up a win streak for Wrath, and Wrath was actually getting over the way they got Goldberg over. They were building Wrath into something. It was like he was getting over, and then Nash beats him like right after World War III, '98, and he
Oh, I didn't
vanished.
know they had a match.
Yeah, and basically the gist was Nash beat one guy with a win streak. He can probably do it again.
That's such a
So
waste of time.
I thought back then that they were building towards Wrath and Goldberg on a pay-per-view main event, which people are going to say I'm a Looney Tune. You could have sold a pay-per-view with that in early '99. If they kept Wrath the way they're going. Instead, like all this is just a waste of time to get Nash over. What'd you think of Ming
Yeah.
versus?
No, they were doing that. That's what I thought. I thought they were building up Raph to be the next Goldberg, and then Raph is in this top position because they gave him the new look, the new music. He could beat Meng, and yeah, streak versus streak seems like it writes itself. And gave what Kevin Nash has said. Seems like a mistake because then Raph was never the same. Chronic was eventually cool, but seems like money on the table, in my opinion. You could have done it.
They don't care. Up next, Disco Inferno versus Juventud Guerrero. Man, Juventud was over. And people were invested in him. I've given you the story before that my friend who does not give a shit about work rate or anything, Hulk Hogan fan, loved Juventud back then. At this point, nobody cares. Juventud loses to Disco Inferno. I don't understand this. I don't understand why every now and then they would go out of their way for Disco Inferno, unless he was given the good drugs to fucking Kevin Sullivan. I don't understand it. Like, this is just a waste of time. This is a waste of Juventud Guerrero. A match stinks. Doesn't need to be here. Why can't you just do Hoovy versus Billy Kidman? Why? Why can't you do that? It makes the show better. Bro, you have all these cruiserweights. This also like is around the time they just completely abandoned having great matches to start the show so that the shit at the end goes down smoother. Bro, you got Dean Malenko, you got Chris Benoit, you got Eddie Guerrero, you got Rey Mysterio, not on this show. You can't do Eddie Guerrero versus Humatu Guerrero. You really can't do that match. You gotta do this shit. I fucking hated this match. I fucking hate this fucking bozo. What do you think?
I don't understand that either. I don't understand what the sudden push for Disco Inferno comes from. Maybe they just didn't want to do Juventud and Kidman again. I'm sure they wrestled like a bunch of times in some capacity on Nitro. That's the only thing that I can think of. Um, it doesn't make sense if he's gonna lose in the same night. Like if he won the Cruiserweight Championship,
That's different.
sure, fine, but he does this long match just to lose to Billy Kidman, spoiler, and who cares? Like it's kind of like who cares? I don't know. And I know Guerrero doesn't do the shoot interview yet, right? Or he already no, he doesn't.
Eddie? No, not yet. Not yet. That comes in '99, I believe.
No, it comes at night.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming because that kicks off the LWO. That hasn't happened.
Yeah. Wow, the LWO is really short-lived. I'm just thinking about that. It felt like it was around much longer because then Eddie Guerrero gets to the accident and they killed the end of LWO when they like in like early 99, like early January 99. I really thought the LWO was around much longer.
Yeah, the LWO ends as soon as the NWO merges. So they're
Okay,
not.
and already had like at least October 5th. Yes, because they talk about it. I remember that. They were like Eddie Guerrero's in the LW. Like some wrestlers haven't joined the LWO yet. So the LWO has formed. These people are just not on the card, which is even more mind-boggling. I thought it just didn't happen yet. But that's okay. You know what? Cool. Let's just move on.
I
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. You know
I
what? We need
will.
more promos. We need more promos because this is apparently is a Nitro. Um,
Yeah,
Scott Steiner and the Giant come out, and they're gonna go on, and then JJ Dillon again, another segment, another talking segment for JJ Dillon on pay per view,
I think you're on to something. He had to be on every show.
and he cuts so hard. This guy used to be a good promo. The other thing, this guy was such a good promo in the '80s, and he just gets worse and worse and worse. I just another way. All of this is a waste of time. People just want to see Goldberg versus DDP.
Yeah.
Waste of time. And again, although I will say Scott Steiner's figuring it out. He's figuring it out, brother. He's getting there. He's getting there. That's the one thing I'll say positive about this segment. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Scott Steiner's starting to get into that character. He's still a little mumbly and a little like a little all over the place, but the character is starting to take shape and take form. And you know, that's great to see much later. But yeah, they spend a lot of time on this and this Rick Steiner storyline, and it's going to lead into the next couple matches real soon. But you don't need this. You don't need this. You like it's almost feel like a rehash of like we saw this last month. We're like, oh, I want to fight my brother. What? You know, they're just doing it again. Just doing it again. Also, the Nitro Girls came out again.
Oh yeah, that's great. That is great. I don't understand this. Even when I was watching it in '98, I didn't know because my friend's feed did not cut off. I didn't
Mm.
know until I turned on Nitro. They have to announce it. And I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Like they have to basically admit, like, we really fucked up last night. Um, Finley versus Alex Wright. The crowd chants boring. It's so fucking fun. You know what's fucking funny to me? I was watching this and I remember Alex Wright is like, I don't know, he's like 19 years old. I mean, I know he's not that young, but he's fucking young.
Yeah, he's like 20 something at that time.
He felt like a relic. He's like early 20s. I'm saying he's got to be maybe 24, 25 at this match. He felt like a relic from 100 years ago, even in 1998. Like, meanwhile, Triple H, who started the same time with him, is just revving up. And Alex Wright feels like yesterday's news. If you asked me how old Alex Wright was in '98, I would have been like, I don't know, 37. This guy's, you know what I mean? Like, he just
Yeah.
felt like an old guy that doesn't belong there anymore. And these guys try, but they never really did enough to get people invested in Finland. Um, it's fine. It's a fine TV match, but people chant boring, and I think it's boring because I want to move. I want to move on to things I want to see. What do you think?
It's crazy that it's boring because it's only like 4 minutes long. It's like a boring 5 minute match, I guess. No, Alex Wright always had that talent, that skill, and like you said, he almost is kind of caught in the shift. It's like seeing like a new generation person stuck in the attitude era, or like the Bushwhackers still there in like '96. You're like, what? All right. But he's also so young. So and he tries Berlin eventually and that shit sucked. But yeah, I think just with the right people in his corner, and Ric Flair was in his corner early in his career. Maybe that's why he's not getting like a good push because Flair liked them and they had
Yeah.
that beef. But with the right people in his corner, or even a contract change early on, like maybe if he was in the light heavyweight division in the WWF, maybe they could have saved him. Something could have happened. But yeah, he just seems stale, and he's stale for a long time until he turns into this character, and it's not fair. He's just it's not really doing anything wrong. It just hasn't evolved. And Finley is somebody that like they try and push him, but I feel like you see Finley, at least back then, you're conditioned to think, oh, this is a WCW Saturday Night guy. Even though he just won the title like a few months ago. He's a WCW Saturday Night guy. I don't really need to care about this because he's not a top guy. And it hurts them both.
Yeah, it makes me sick. Up next, we got Ernest Miller doing his "I'm the greatest" thing. So they're continuing his push to give him TV time.
It's so funny because you know that they run out of time and there's so much stuff you can cut.
Speaking of stuff we get rid of, bro, Saturn versus Lodi.
Yep.
Come on,
Cut.
quick win, but who cares? And more
Cut.
Nitro Girls.
Yeah. Cut. I love the Nitro Girls with 3 segments. Come on, ladies.
And then after that, it's Kidman versus Disco Inferno. Uh, I mean, Disco tries, Kidman's trying. It's just, I don't know what to say. I just, all of it's shocking that that all this shit's here and people aren't going to see DDP versus Goldberg. It's just shocking that all this garbage is here. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not necessary. Like, I mean, with the hindsight of knowing what happens, obviously it's not necessary. But with this match, we were just saying it a few minutes ago, if Disco is not winning this thing, what is the point of doing this? What's the point? Because it's kind of a babyface thing, like, oh, I'm gonna overcome a match and then fight the champion. And Disco Inferno was not a babyface, not a likable human being. So, like, what was the
Unlikable.
what
Yeah.
was the point of it? Besides giving Kidman a win, which you could have gave him a win against anybody else. Just what was the point? Just a waste of time.
Point is to waste my life. All right, up next, we got more things that are going to waste our lives.
They fight on Nitro the next day, by the way. Kidman and
What?
Juventud Guerrera.
Oh, well, that's good.
The
Giant
super the super Nitro that gave
final stuff.
him
Nitro. Yeah. Up next, it's Buff Bagwell and Rick Steiner versus Giant Scott Steiner. Guess what happens? Buff Bagwell wins a Rick Steiner. Then Rick Steiner wins the tag belts. Then it's Rick Steiner versus Scott Steiner. Buff Bagwell interferes dressed like Bill Clinton. Oh my God, this thing goes on and on and on, and it goes on forever. It takes up so much time. It's not good. I I can't. You gotta believe that Buff Bagwell was like, please get me to fucking WWF tomorrow. Can I leave now? Like brutal. This goes on. This should have been a hot feud. This just goes on and on with nonsense. It just takes forever. What did you think of Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell insanity bullshit saga?
thank God it's over. I hope it's over. I don't know. But you know what was kind of annoying about it? I mean, or like just watching all that. After watching all this, I don't think Rick Steiner gets a big push like that afterwards ever. But the way and the time and the investment they put into this is somebody that you're like, all right, well, maybe he'll win World War III and fight Goldberg because he gets such a overcome the odds kind of story that like you think like in today's logic, you would go somewhere with this. And the crowd's into him. So you would go somewhere with this. And that's not what happened. So it's just a giant waste of time. Another giant waste of time. And I'm just glad it's over. I That's what I think. If I see them wrestle one more time next month, I don't know. I don't know what
I,
I'm gonna do.
one of them happens again next month. I don't remember.
Oh, fuck. All
Uh,
right.
all right, up next. I always thought this was more of an angle, but it actually was a real match. It's Scott Hall versus Kevin Nash. Here's my problem with this match, which I don't like. I got a big problem with this match. Is
Mm,
that Kevin Nash for years has said that he hated the drunk Scott Hall angle. He wasn't a fan. He thought it was bad. He thought it was taking advantage of Scott. He plays it up in this match. You want a double? You want a double? He keeps saying
yeah.
you want another round. Like he really. So it's like, well, you played into it. You played into it, and then like he does this thing where he's just mocking him. He beats the crap out of Scott Hall. That he does a count out victory. Like he just leaves. Like he just leaves there and like he's disgusted with Scott Hall. I didn't like consider like knowing what's going to happen, knowing what was probably happening when we were watching the show. I didn't like that they were taking advantage of this man's very real problems, and his best friend is using it to get himself over so he can beat Goldberg. I thought the whole thing was kind of disgusting. And, I think sometimes these wrestlers talk a good game, but their actions, I would not, if I'm Kevin Nash, because Kevin Nash gets to do whatever he wants. He's already established he just does whatever he wants. I would not have brought up the drinking when I'm taunting Scott Hall. I would have found other ways to taunt Scott Hall because I think it's in really bad taste knowing what's happening in this guy's life. Other than that, the match was okay. The crowd was really into it. So, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think and then even had Tony Schiavone be like, guys, this is a real, we don't endorse this. We don't, even Eric Bischoff doesn't endorse this. And it's like, you guys are writing the fucking story. Like you do endorse it. I know what you're trying to do with the fake realism, but it's not good when it's Hawk. It's not good when it's Scott Hall. Like I personally don't like this stuff, and it's not like snowflake bullshit that people want to be like, oh, you're too soft for it. These are real problems that these guys have, and you're turning it into a storyline, and it doesn't help them. It doesn't help them. Neither Scott Hall nor Road Warrior Hawk were better off doing this storyline. It fucking sucked. Kevin, I did find that weird too, him kind of putting these actions hero lines of like, oh, you want a double, you want this. I thought that was kind of weird. 'Cause I do remember him being uncomfortable with the story. Maybe on the flip, like I was just saying about Chelsea Green and them, he's just doing his job. So I can't get too upset. I gotta,
He never just did his job. He just did whatever he wanted. So
or he does do, was he the booker at that time or no? I don't remember. He was?
maybe he was kind of ordered, like maybe he was like, no, you have to say this, and he like, all right,
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that before. But it's, yeah, I just didn't like it. I mean, Kevin Nash looks really cool. He beats up a drunk and then he walks out and discusses a great after school special of a match. But I was not on board with it.
yeah, people. This is like the height of Nash's popularity. So they do. They
Yeah, he was crazy over. I remember that.
all right. Here we go. Here we go. Another. Oh, more Nitro Girls, by the way. Uh,
Yeah.
it's Bret Hart versus Sting. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Bret Hart lost it. I think McMahon broke him. This was a dream match for me for years, since '91. I was like, oh yeah, this I could see this being a WrestleMania main event, right? Sting versus Bret
Oh,
Hart,
it's a dream match for so many people.
and this was horrible. This could have been a main event. This could have main evented Starrcade instead of Goldberg Nash. Like you could have built this being a main event. These two barely put any effort in. I think this is where Sting hit rock bottom. I think he finds Jesus in this next,
Yes.
because the goatee looks like shit. Just complete collapse of Sting. It's This is the final appearance to a Wolfpack Sting. Bret Hart beats him. Sting gets taken out in a stretcher. It's for 10 fucking minutes. Um, and it was bad. It wasn't as bad as Goldberg had a better match with Bret Hart on this show, man. So Bret Hart, come on, bro, come on. You want to talk shit? That's what I was saying was Goldberg. That's how. Next time you get brought up, I hate Bret. I just want you to know I had a better match than you at Halloween Havoc '98. I also had a better match than you at Bash to Beach '98. We want to keep going down the fucking road because we will. Because it's true. Goldberg has a better match than him tonight.
Yeah.
Goldberg puts more effort than he does because Vince McMahon has broken this fucking guy's brain. Not good.
Yeah, and that sucks for me to say that Goldberg had a better match than Bret Hart. Never something I think I would say. I think this match was also put on such a high pedestal and given to us at the worst time in both people's lives. Bret Hart was mentally checked out. Sting was mentally checked out. They have other matches in the future, and I just think they're all just kind of mid-level, but. They're both at some of their worst in their career. The goatee doesn't help. His thing looks so weird. Like
Yeah,
I hated the goatee sting with the wolf pack. I remember like just being so unhappy with it. Like when I saw as a kid. And then they put it in one of the video games for like 3 years. They put goatee sting in because I guess it's one of the matches you play. I don't even know why it's in there. I don't know why it's in there. But I guess it's one of those like matches.
where is it?
One of the two Ks.
Oh,
Um, it's Wolfpack Sting, but it's goatee Wolfpack Sting. So I don't know if you like fight him as Bret Hart or the Halloween Havoc Arena was in there.
there's a DLC where because they did a DLC where, Hall of Fame, and
Yeah,
you get Halloween Havoc '98, but the match you have to recreate is Scott Hall Kevin Nash because I think they were looking for a match to put Scott Hall in where they had the rights to everybody. So you do so maybe that's the one that like since we're giving you '98 Halloween Havoc and '98 Halloween Havoc Hall, we'll give you '98 Halloween Havoc Sting. I don't know.
yeah. No, I'll have to look it up because I know WCW Bret's in there too for a bit, even though they give him all WWF stuff. Um, Yeah, it's just one of those matches that like it's probably the most disappointing match on the show because you know these two should be selling out an arena and should be like, okay, this is what's going to compete with the WWF. And it's just not. It's and you look at that card, you look at this from like 4 years ago. You got Diesel Razor, gonna use their names here, and Bret Hart Sting, Hogan Warrior. Like these are like should be things that are gonna you'd be very excited to see again only a few years ago. Maybe not as much Hogan Warrior, but just not here. And it just sucks. It sucks. And
Yeah,
it's unfortunate to see, and it doesn't get better because I've tried to give this match multiple different chances, and it just never does. It's just very disappointing. You're right. It's I feel like I like a parent, and the kid did so bad. That's how bad this match is to me. Because you know these two are so good and so capable of more, and it's just mm.
it honestly makes me sick. All right, here we go. No, it does. It makes me.
No,
It's like, dude, like you would think. I really thought that Bret Hart would be like, I'm gonna prove Vince wrong. I'm gonna prove everyone wrong. And I think he proves them like beyond right. I think like it's like to me, if I'm Vince, I'm like I should have fired this guy sooner. In the month of 95. Why the fuck did I keep him? You know what I mean?
he's gone. Like he's mentally, he's just gone. Like, and you can blame the creative, you can blame Brett, you can blame Bishoff, you can blame both, but like they're just like he doesn't want to be there. Who
No.
knows? Maybe that'll be Aleister Black allegedly, just putting on shit matches. But no, he doesn't want to be there, and he's not liking the creative that he has. I know he gets to like a fight with Dean Malenko at some point. Like it's just like he made like I don't yeah. I don't think it taints his legacy as much as other people might, but it's just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah.
At
No,
least
it's
Sting gets it back together and gets a couple more chances in life. Yeah, Brett just never gets that doesn't get the chances after that because of the injuries. Um, would we have seen a Bret Hart Kurt Angle? Maybe. Would have been good? Maybe. I don't know. Just
um
sucks. We gotta move on. It's just disappointing.
I mean it's your
Sucks for
fault.
me. Not my fault. I watched the show.
Okay. So
More
here we
than
go.
one.
Dude, you know me. I'm a Hulkamaniac for life. You know me. I'm a Warrior fan. I'm still looking for the Warrior LJN. I got people going nuts looking for that. We're all about it. We're all about that life. And Hogan Warrior in 1990 exceeded expectations. I think that it is one of the best WrestleMania. I would put it definitely in the top 20 WrestleMania matches of all time. I think both guys did a phenomenal job.
Don't tell
I,
that to Twitter.
I, bro, sorry. I think that Warrior was the right choice, no matter how many times some of these older guys are going to say he's not. I think they're jealous of Warrior. Um, Warrior was it. He's always going to be it. Sorry, but 1998 he was not it, and neither was Hogan. Every time I watch this match, I'm like, this match is not going to be as bad and it's worse. It gets worse every fucking time I see it. This is the match everyone thought they were going to have at WrestleMania 6. And credit to Pat Patterson, he made sure they did it. He fucking was like, nope, you guys are gonna have a good match if I have to kill you. And they did it. This was horrible. This is horrible. This is such a disappointment. I was dying to see Hogan Warrior 2 in 1991. But I want Hogan to get his win back. And this is horrible. Like I said before, I don't think Hogan ever has a worse match than this. It's all up from here. If you're watching a Hogan rewatch, it's all up from here. This match, like I think this match is why WrestleMania 18 is such a revelation because I kind of thought it was going to be along this lines with The Rock, and what they pull off is just whoa. I didn't think Hogan was capable of WrestleMania 18 at the end of this match. I thought it
Yeah.
was done, and he, he really should have just retired and like fucking just vanished and never spoke again, and he'd be like the most beloved legend on the planet. If he walked away after WrestleMania 18, never did any reality shows, never did anything, never sat in a room while and was recorded, man, he'd be like the greatest legend of all time after 18. But I think he says in the documentary, I should have walked. Yeah, you should have walked away after 18. That was like your moment. Like Brock had his moment. Anyway, um, match. one of the worst matches you will ever see. And you bring in the Warrior. There's so many matches and feuds you could have done. Warrior versus Goldberg. How do you not do Warrior versus Goldberg? How do you
He
not?
sucks.
I know. All you need,
Because
all you need to do is have Goldberg pin him, and rough, rough, horrible, unwatchable. And then this is it. This is basically it for Warrior. This is completely it. He has one more. He has one more appearance on Raw, and then he dies.
he
So this,
fights Orlando Jordan in Australia at some point too.
but
But
that's not even CW WWE yet, so I can't.
yeah,
Awful. One of the worst things I've ever seen. What did you think?
yeah, I think you said all of it. It was awful. There's no redeeming part of it. I think, you know what, a little conspiracy I think there. I think they knew they were running out of time. So they had to put Warrior Hogan next because that was probably gonna main event. So they had to put Warrior Hogan next and
Mhm.
then give DDP and Goldberg the main event. Just so if it cuts off, at least the fans saw Warrior Hogan and they don't have to deal with the backlash.
I think DDP claims he knew for a while they were going to be the main event, so I don't know about that.
All right.
I,
Yeah.
I think maybe I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think DDP believes, or maybe he's just changed it around.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they were the main event as well. I really thought Hogan when I was little, when I found out that they went last. 'Cause I thought even the date, like if you asked me that weekend, what's the main event going to be? That's Halloween Havoc on Sunday. I would have been like Hogan Warrior, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I agree.
Um,
Well, the first match in the 90s, this year, WrestleMania's greatest moments, it was number 7. And last year, the match was number 15 on their greatest matches. So,
I agree with that.
yeah, I
I
know
agree with that.
people, I know people were upset about this year being, I remember someone was like, who cares about Hogan slamming some old man? And he's very disrespectful, Gen Z people. But because Bianca and Sasha, which is an incredible match and again should be higher than 19, is not number one. It was never going to be number one. I'm sorry. That's just not how these lists work. Um,
Just it didn't change things. They've never women have never main evented again after that, and I'm not blaming it on them, but Hogan, Andre, Hogan Warrior, Brett, Austin, even Austin, Michaels, Austin, Rock. They changed things. They changed the business. The business got better because the match was so good. And Bianca, I mean, the next night on, I mean, the Raw after that WrestleMania sucked, and the SmackDown sucks. And then Sasha goes away, and then Bianca jobs to Becky. So like, it
I
is a
mean,
good,
there's some stuff in between, but yes.
it is a great match, but like you can see like a change in the company after Brett and Austin have their match, and that just doesn't happen with Sasha and Bianca. It's fun.
No.
It's great. They should, and I think it's important, especially now as the years pass. It was the only time two women made events at WrestleMania.
Yeah, not just two women, two black women too.
Black women too. So it definitely owns a place of importance. You want to put in the top 10, that's fine, but you can't argue that it's more important than Hogan Andre or better. It's just not. It's just not. It's just and
It's
anything is going to ever be as important or better than Hogan Andre. It's just sorry. It's just it was a moment in time you can't replicate, especially nowadays where everyone's such a miserable piece of shit.
he really can't replicate anything anymore. I think that was that always frustrated me too when I was talking about earlier, just being in the moment. Like when John Cena turned heel, people were like, oh, this is our NWO 96. It was like I wasn't like, oh, this is my Larry Sabisco, like fucking turning on Bruno Sammartino when you're watching Hogan turn heel. Like obviously I didn't even know what the fuck it was. But like be in it. Be in it. Don't be like, oh, this is our version of this. Just be fucking in it. Which people, no matter
And
what
and
the company, people don't seem to want to do.
and the other problem is that like they had just done Hogan Andre in Shea Stadium in 1980. And like, bro, you could not in 2027, you couldn't build up a match that happened in 2020 as this massive dream match. Like you couldn't do Roman Goldberg in 2027 and pretend it didn't happen and everyone just go along with it. People would just be like, well, this already happened. Or I'm sorry, that's the bad. Drew versus Brock. You couldn't do Drew versus Brock as a dream match. And because people would be, well, you had this match in 2020. It's not that fucking important. 2020, 2020. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You fucking Drew, who cares? Like so people got caught up. That they got caught up and they just like, I know this happened. I don't care. I'm caught up. I'm fucking
Yeah.
excited. You know?
No, yeah, they put a new coat of paint on it. You had Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant in 1980, and now you have the immortal Hulk Hogan and the irresistible force, immovable object Andre the Giant. Like, yeah, it's a different kind of coat of paint on it. And they built themselves up over those past 7 years to be these, to sound like a fed-pilled person, like unstoppable superstars. And now it's a huger deal because I don't know, it's like watching people when they were a band when they were like getting better, or they hadn't figured out everything yet. But Andre was fine. But Hulk Hogan didn't figure out everything yet in 1980. In 1987, he's figured out who he is. So that's a big difference between that match and WrestleMania 3. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably not better because of Andre's injuries, but it's still, huge. But what sucked? This match. This match was fucking terrible, and I don't think there's really that much to say about it. I guess they had to ad lib the end because the fireball thing fell apart. It was atrocious. I don't think unless somebody was gonna get hit with the fireball and kick out the Warrior, but
It
bad,
was.
just
It's just.
bad.
It's sad. It's sad because I wanted
Bad.
these guys.
There's from Rick Stein after Rick Steiner, from Rick Steiner, Scott Hall to Hollywood Hogan. It's just a sea of bad, and all long matches too. Just a sea of bad.
I really thought in 1998 they're gonna have an okay match. Like this, they're not gonna have a bad match. They're gonna have an okay match, and okay would have been like. I don't think they're capable of okay, but it's
No,
so
it
bad.
was bad. Well,
I
and
still
then
have still buy
then
their
the
act
sh
30
then the
years later.
show cuts off. No, I don't really buy Warrior stuff anymore. I stopped buying Hogan stuff a long time ago.
Mm.
But I used to love the Warrior. He didn't love me. But I used
Well,
to I used
dude,
to love the Warrior.
Warrior would have been beyond canceled if he lived. Because here's the thing, Hogan.
Oh,
I
he
mean,
died at the right time. He's so lucky.
shit in private. Warrior would have been like, "Oh, Hogan. Oh, I'll say it right now here on stage. I'll say it. I'm the guest referee for Roman Triple H. I'm going to say it right now in the ring. Yeah, he oh,
No,
like,
no, he's a
well, we're not just rallying for Trump. I'm rallying to destroy the Constitution. Where do I say? Oh, Hogan, you want to boo Hogan? You want to boo Hogan? I want to take away your rights. What do you think about that, Warriors? Like he would have went all the way, all the way. Like
nah, he was bad. He was so openly bad about it too. You're just like, holy shit.
Hogan at least like Hogan like I want to vote for Trump, but I put it out there and like I said that I got to make my Hogan. Jimmy Hart had a great thing where Hogan said to Jimmy Hart on I made my bed, now I got to lie in it, and that was Hogan's attitude. Like I did what I did, now I have to accept the responsibilities. Warrior would have been like, you think what I said yesterday was bad? Way to see me today. Like he would have. I
Oh,
don't.
he would have had a fucking Fox Now TV show by now where he just says the worst things.
Oh yeah. Oh, 1,000%. You know what? Be selling out the stand next week.
I'm like, hey, there no comment.
But no, he would not like. That's my thing. It's like okay, Hogan said what he said in private, but he treated everyone with respect in public. Warrior would have been like, I'm gonna say worse shit to you in public, brother. So you better get the fuck out of here.
What's more respectable, just being standing on business and being a piece of shit in public, or being a piece of shit in private and then being nice in public?
I piece of shit in private because
Okay.
no, because Pete, listen, Hogan still had Butch Reed main event with him. Butch Reed still that check still cleared, brother.
The
If
check
Hogan
did clear.
the Hogan went to Vince like I'm not main eventing against any black guy, Butch Reed misses a payment on his house. All right, listen, check still cleared. Hogan kept his feelings to himself and fucking made the guy look good in the ring and got paid. I think that's better. Sorry.
I mean, Hogan seems like a lay your bed guy. There's a video going around. I don't know if you see with Mark Henry like confronting him about it and be like, just apologize. And he's like, I can't do that because like trying to say the Terry Hulk Hogan thing, and Mark Henry's like, you think the myth of Terry Hulk Hogan is more important for you than Terry Bollea, and you're just gonna suffer. And like Hogan just kind of like looks away from him and just
I think
doesn't
I think
apologize.
I
I'm
think
butchering it. There's a way, by the way.
I think the thing with Hogan is he had uh, bad people in his ear, and I'm going to say
Hmm.
those people, Eric Bischoff and his son. I think,
Let's not put names out here that can sue you.
all right, okay, allegedly, I think those are the people that are putting, because I think Bischoff would have been like, I think Bischoff would have said, don't apologize. I think his daughter, I think there people like Mark Henry would have been like, I think there was a way out of it. I think there was a way out of it for Hogan, and he just didn't take it because you have to humiliate yourself a little bit. Not humiliate, but humble yourself.
Humble, yeah.
But at the
No,
same,
I mean, like his, yeah, he tried with the don't get caught, and I'm sure
that's
somebody was, it was just terrible, which is which I'm sure some people were just like lay low, it's gonna go away. Hey, might have even allegedly been the WWE, be like, we have to do A, B, and C, and we'll have you back in the family in a few years.
yeah.
But
I,
we don't know.
I think, he could have went around to black colleges, apologized. But I also think if people were like, your apology's not good enough, I think he could say, okay, I main evented against black wrestlers at the Garden. I have helped out black children in hospitals. I have done things that other wrestlers haven't done. I said words I
Goldberg.
said, but I always was there for the black community. I was always there for my black fans. So if you're going to keep pushing back at this, I don't know how I'm supposed to apologize, but I'm here at your school and I want to help out the community. And I think he could have gotten out of it with that. And again, because I have a record. When did Ric Flair main event with Bush Reed? You know, like
No. No.
I put money in people's pockets. I was good to these. I was good. I hate to say these people, but I'm just saying that like there was a lot of racism in wrestling that goes unspoken because they weren't recorded. Hogan and Vince were putting black wrestlers in main events, and at that time, the main event is the most money. And he could
Mhm.
there again. Like I'm saying, like I have a track record of not being racist. I have a track record of helping out the community. I want to help out the community now, and I think he could have got out of it, but he didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a way out. And yeah, it didn't happen, and we all know what happened from there. That's how bad this match is. We're having fucking social quote woke end quote discussions about Hulk Hogan and what he could have done instead of talking about this match.
Say who spoke out against Trump, and it got nothing. Goldberg versus DDP. Goldberg.
The documentary makes it seem like Hulk Hogan helped Trump win the election, by the way.
I think he might have cost him the election. Um,
If only it didn't happen.
he didn't need, and um, Hulk Hogan won him the election.
I think there's a phone call in the documentary where I think Trump calls him and he's like, "Thank you."
Trump did tell him that, by the way. I think
What
so.
happened?
I think Trump did tell him that. I think Trump
Yeah,
just said the same thing.
yeah, something like that. He calls him, yeah.
Goldberg versus Goldberg and Steve Austin's podcast went off on Trump, and Austin quickly changed the subject.
Wait, who
I
went off on Trump?
Goldberg
Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought he was
was like, by the way, I can't believe this fucking guy's running for president. I did the apprentice. And he's a horrible human being. How this guy has fooled everybody. And I was like, all right, son, I want to see politics here. Tell me about your new reality show, son. And he was like, this fucking guy's a fucking idiot. And like Austin was like, and he's never done it again. But
I gotta look that up. That's funny.
Goldberg just starts going on and getting no traction. You would think that would like it never caught on. I was like, wow. I
This
thought,
was
wow.
early like 2016, right?
Like, how is this guy winning prime? I don't like this fucking guy. I don't like this fucking guy. I got to tell you
Yeah.
stories about him. Apparently, he forgot the stories. It's been 10 years later.
Yeah, not him. I remember Maria got fired from the show because she made like a shit don't stink joke and he thought it was crass when all they do is say like the worst things, but he took it out on Maria for making a inappropriate joke, end quote, quote, end quote.
Oh, the
And that's why
apprentice.
she got fired from, yeah. I watched that season because I liked Maria. Goldberg was on it. Brett Michaels was cool. I know it was like
Goldberg.
celebrities that I knew. And I didn't like, I didn't really give a shit about Trump as a human being. He was just a character to me. Boy, how things have changed. But
Yeah.
yeah, he
Hey,
did. That's why
it's like,
and when I get to it, I think that's when people were taking it seriously because I was like the guy from The Apprentice. is running. All right.
Yeah, Goldberg didn't listen. Goldberg spoke out against him and fell on deaf ears. It's there's funny the things that don't pick up anywhere. Like I remember them and like people are like, oh, he
Yeah.
did. I feel like nowadays if he did that, fucking Square Circle Reddit would throw the guy a parade.
Oh, they
Um,
would. They'd be like it was Brett's fault.
but like,
They would be like, Bret Hart should have ducked.
fuck him. All right, I like Brett. He was always nice to me. But I'm just annoyed
No,
with
I
him.
like Brett too. Love Brett.
It's like, man, you're proving. Okay, let's get to the main event because this is important. DDP
Yes.
versus Goldberg. DDP gives Goldberg. Actually, I like the Brock Goldberg matches in 2016, 2017,
They
but
made
I
sense.
I think that this was Goldberg's best match. DDP put a lot of effort in giving Goldberg because this is the first time Goldberg has a traditional pay-per-view match where it's
Hmm.
forth, there's near falls, there's this. He never did this before. He doesn't know how to do this. And DDP gives him a script, 15 pages. They go over it. They work really hard. And I think DDP proves that Goldberg belonged in the main event, even though he was still new. Now, they do everything they can to unprove his point, but in the years to come. But I will say, like, this was the best this was a really good match. I don't know if I like it better than Jericho Raven, but it's really good, and DDP deserves a ton of credit. He knew his role. His role
Yeah.
was to make this guy look like a real wrestler, and he does it. And if everyone had DDP's attitude, Goldberg probably would have been as big as The Rock or as big as Hogan. Like they could have, like WWE would still be in business if people had DDP's attitude. And it's just so sad to me that it gets cut off. The show gets cut off. And I don't think they just beat I think a lot of people think, oh well, they beat Raw in the ratings because they gave away a pay-per-view match. I think it's more than that. I think if the pay-per-view match they gave away was Sting Giant, I don't think they would have beat Raw in the ratings. I think they beat Raw in the ratings because people really cared about Goldberg and DDP, and they were really,
Yeah. No, it was a match people wanted to see.
and it's not fair that their match got cut off. It's not fair that people got screwed, and like people were mad and wanted refunds because they wanted this match. They wanted to see that they cared about these guys, and they do everything they can to make you not care about these guys over the next 2 years to the point where like I didn't give a shit about DDP by the end. And watching this now, I'm like, man, he's really busting his ass. This guy's 87 years old at the time, and he's busting his fucking ass, and it's falling on deaf
87.
ears. It's falling on deaf ears. I love it though. I think this is a great main event. I've really grown to appreciate DDP. It's never too late. It's never too late unless it's March of 2001. Then it is too late. What do you think?
No, it is a good match. It might be Goldberg's best match, like you said. I didn't know anything about the 15 pages or things like that to go over a script. But DDP was a company guy through and through, and he helped get Goldberg to where he needed to be. And I think that's awesome. I think that's an awesome thing to do. That's something that people don't do to this day. They care more about themselves than getting this. This is the company guy. We're gonna help get the company guy there, and hopefully something will work out for me. It's just something that doesn't happen. Used to
Yeah.
happen, doesn't happen anymore. But no, and for the short time, I think you're right. If this was like you said, if it was maybe Brett Sting, people would have tuned in. If it was the Rick Steiner saga, people would not have tuned in, and Nitro would not have won. People liked DDP. You built up DDP for over a year to be an important figure, and you built up Goldberg for over a year now to be an important figure. So these are the people that, if WCW was doing correctly, would be carrying your company for the next 5, 10 years. And so people are invested in the people that you've built up to get to this point. So to not see that on the pay-per-view, but then give them the make do on Nitro, yeah, of course people are going to tune in. But then it all just kind of goes nowhere. And we'll get to that way for the next, I guess, 3 years of Nitro pay-per-views. This is the last time that they win. It just kind of goes nowhere. So it's disappointing, but for Goldberg, it's awesome. It's a great match. Again, can't believe I have to say that Goldberg had a better match than Bret Hart, but
Just accept it. He's a better worker
Bro,
than Brock. Just
that's not
accept.
that isn't we're not going there. But it was a good match. It was a good match and definitely worthy of main eventing the show.
All
And
Goldberg say to Bret Hart is I had a better match with Halloween Havoc '98, and
yeah,
I Bret Hart will just have to jump. He won't know how he won't know how to. He'll be like, you know what, you win the war of the words. I can't argue against that.
no, hell would break loose. He'd be so angry.
I know, but it's true. All right, so let's go over the next 4 weeks. Next week we're back in ECW. It's November to Remember '97. The new Triple Threat versus the old Triple Threat. In 2 weeks, it's Survivor Series '98, Rock versus Mankind, the finals of the Deadly Game tournament. In 3 weeks, it's World War III '98, DDP versus Bret Hart as the main event. That's the real test of Bret Hart right there. Then in 4 weeks, it's a UK pay per view. It's Capital Carnage '98.
All
The main
right.
event is Steve Austin versus Kane versus Mankind versus Undertaker. What are you excited about?
Why are we doing Capital Carnage?
Pay per views, man.
All right. Cool. I guess Capital Carnage. I've never seen it. I don't know what happened
Oh,
to it.
good show, actually. You never seen it?
Okay. No, I don't. I mean, the European pay-per-views we didn't get for years. I just wasn't that interested in them.
Capital Carnage is really good. There's a good Rock X Pac match on there, and Triple H I think has a good match. Triple H versus Jeff Jarrett.
No. Okay.
It's actually a good. It's I
Hey, we'll find out. We'll find out in 4 weeks.
like house show. It's
Yeah.
good.
All right. I mean, we're already here, so it'll get watched.
What do you got to plug, and then we'll get out of here.
When does this come out? Tomorrow, right?
Wait,
Tonight?
yeah, I think
Okay.
I did it when I get back from Mandalorian. So
All right. Oh yeah, UCB NY. It's UCB New York. This Saturday, I'm going to be part of. Oh my God, what is their names right now? It's the wrestling. Oh my God, I am so sorry. But Shane Hartline does a great show in California.
I know you're talking.
Nearly almost wrestling is what it's called. And I will be on it. I will be on it. Nearly wrestling. Nearly average wrestling. Nearly average wrestling. Shane Hartline and friends. I'll be on there. Tommy Dreamer will be there. Max Caster. Uh, Great comedians as well will be on it. And it's just calamity, 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 calamity. I will be a judge, so I think I can announce that, and it's gonna be awesome and a great way to kick off your double or nothing weekend. So check that out, 10 o'clock, UCB in New York, and would love to see you there. And of course, the stand characters like comedy, June 20th.
All right, that's the podcast. If you enjoy it, please subscribe, leave us a comment, a review, and yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll be back in the land of extreme for ECW. We'll see you then.